Role-playing is the brand new frontier in GTA Online, and unlike the old days, this isn't the Wild West anymore. We've got a highly curated and well-developed ecosystem of servers where each one offers you something unique, and the best roleplay servers out there are packed to the brim with custom assets and scripts that will make your head spin with how responsive and realistic they are. But therein lies the problem. Unless you know what to look for, finding the right roleplay server for GTA Online can be a total nightmare. You've got the mainstays like NoPixel, and then you've got the fly-by-night servers that show up today and disappear by next week. So unless you're active in the Discords and subreddits, and you're tuned into the whole roleplay scene, you have no way of knowing whether a server is the right pick for you before you waste hundreds of hours of your time on it. Fortunately, I've done exactly that. Okay, I wouldn't call it wasting time, more like research, because I went out there and I loaded up a bunch of RP servers to decide which ones are worthy of your time in the second half of 2026, and I came up with 5 names. First is grandrp, which is my personal favorite roleplay server of them all, and if you guys are concerned about this place shutting down due to Rockstar's legal notice versus Rage MP, let me clear one thing up for you. grandrp is not going anywhere. In fact, you can actually download their official launcher and play grandrp right now. I actually recommend using my referral link to create your account, since this will also give you a free car and a bunch of cool clothes and even a 10-day Prime membership right from the start. But one thing that you must remember is grandrp won't be on the public server list for the Rage MP launcher. Instead, you'll have to boot it up from their official launcher, and you can honestly pick whichever server you like, but I recommend English server number 1 since that's the one I play on, and this server is also home to the Hazard Gang, which is my in-game family. If you join the Hazard Gang, you can share the family house, and you'll even get access to the family vehicles as a new player, which is pretty awesome since you won't have to shuffle around on that stupid e-scooter anymore. As for the server itself, if you've watched any of my RP videos before, you already know that grandrp is one of the most engaging open world sandbox experiences you can possibly have. It's like GTA 5 Online, only better and more immersive, and here everybody is a real person, and if you want to do something, you don't just walk up to an NPC and press that interact button. No, you actually have to communicate with shopkeepers and police officers and explain what you want and how you want it done. Like for example, in grandrp, you don't just walk into a car shop and drive out with your car. Instead, you also have the option to do a test drive with each vehicle, and they all come with different fuel economies and trunk capacity. So there's a real inventory system that decides how much luggage you can store in your car, and we might actually get something similar in GTA 6, which is rumored to carry over the inventory system from RDR2, but if you want to experience it right now, you can do so with grandrp. In grandrp, vehicles also need a number plate, and you'll also want insurance as well as a driver's license, unless you fancy getting pulled over by the San Andreas Highway Patrol. Or you can embrace the thug life if you want and discard all laws of the land. As a gangster, you get to own territories, kidnap people, rob stores, and you can even assault enemy gang headquarters, and these raids are basically giant PvP battles with 40 or more players duking it out on the streets at the same time, and it's absolutely awesome to witness. Now, of course, as a gangster, you can also steal cars, sell drugs, and carry out hit jobs for anonymous clients on the darknet, and that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to criminal activities in grandrp. On the other hand, if you want to act on the side of the law, you can sign up to be a member of the LSPD or FIB or even Noose, and they all have their own interview processes where you actually have to fill out a form and take an interview with one of their agents, and then you have to go through a training course where they teach you the various police codes and how to conduct an arrest, how to operate your weapon, all that fun stuff, right? It's all very immersive at the end of the day, and grandrp manages to bring all the excitement and action of the more laid-back roleplay servers out there without compromising on complexity or immersion. Like, this isn't a super serious or hardcore roleplay server, and thus the rules are quite basic. It still manages to be as immersive though at the same time as any other roleplay server I've ever experienced, and that combined with the constant updates that it gets is why I love grandrp so much. Every other month, these guys are rolling out battle passes that have new cars, new clothes, new activities, live events, and it's just incredible to experience with friends, which is why I recommend bringing your friends along with you when you sign up for grandrp using my link. It's free, you have nothing to lose, and you don't have to downgrade to Legacy GTA 5 because grandrp also runs perfectly fine on Expanded and Enhanced as well, unlike most other RP servers out there that still don't support the latest version of this game. And number 2, we've got 17th Street RP, and these guys have been around for a long time and have slowly carved a name for themselves as one of the most fair and balanced RP servers in the entire world. 17th Street portrays itself as a serious roleplay community where immersion and storytelling take top priority, alongside fairness of course. However, they also manage things so that players don't feel held back, and they're also free to express themselves however they like. As long as you're not breaking immersion or intruding on other people's roleplay space, you can honestly do anything in this server. You can be a cop and arrest a big-time drug lord as part of a high-stakes raid with your other cop friends. Or you can be a mafia boss and have your eyes and ears around every corner of the city and get discounts at various businesses using your status and power as a crime lord. If you like to play on the side of the law but don't want to get your hands dirty, you can even be a judge and put dozens of crooks in jail. You can even be an EMS physician and rescue both criminal scum and police officers alike, playing a role of a neutral party. Or you can be a small-time crook, holding up corner shops and jacking cars to pay your monthly rent. The possibilities are endless in this server, and there are dozens of stories and subplots going on at any given time in 17th Street RP. The UI also feels clean and well designed. It doesn't get in your way unlike so many other RP servers where the UI is kind of just an incoherent mess of buttons and sliders. The graphics are also really good, with well developed lighting systems and high quality textures on every custom asset. There are also lots of custom scripts for every job, interaction, and activity, so it doesn't feel simply like a copy and pasted asset flip here. You can actually experience a whole other kind of gameplay loop compared to most generic RP servers. Even the basic jobs on 17th Street, like chopping wood or disposing of trash, have so much attention to detail that it feels like you're a part of the world, because you don't just walk up to an object and press E to complete the mission. You have to manually work through each step by hand and figure things out for yourself along the way, which is what makes the process of learning so enjoyable in 17th Street RP. Number 3 on my list is Pimp and RP. This server runs on 5M, unlike grandrp, which uses Rage MP, and if the name didn't give it off, Pimp and RP is a server for the more criminally inclined among you who prefer an action-focused experience, minus all the tediousness of everyday chores and money grinding like you see with so many other RP servers, where it kind of just feels like you're getting off your real-life job just to do another virtual job inside a game. And thanks to all the custom scripts that they have for vehicle handling, weapon ballistics, melee combat, and businesses, you're guaranteed to have a really good time over here, because Pimp and RP is where all the coolest dudes come to hang out and have a drink. Sure, there's the occasional turf war that makes the worst Brazilian favelas look like Disneyland, but other than that, this is a really chill server. Anyways, I wouldn't worry too much about getting mugged in here, because despite the more hood-oriented roleplay that happens inside of Pimp and RP, it is actually quite well moderated, and the admins are always keeping an eye out for bad actors who kill people without a reason, which is to say, you can mow down a dozen people with a machine gun in this server as long as you're doing it within character and for story reasons, and that's what makes Pimpin' one of my favorite criminal RP servers. Most RP servers put way too much emphasis on cops and have power-hungry mods who will basically ban you for the slightest misstep, but in Pimp and RP, everybody is expected to act like a criminal, and you won't get punished for going off script as long as it makes the experience better for everyone else there. In addition to gang stuff and petty robberies, Pimpin' also has bank heists and a robust law enforcement agency, as well as emergency medical services, as well as a Department of Justice, so don't think of this just as another hood roleplay server either. It's free for everyone, and it gets regular updates and community events that are also coordinated through their official Discord, so feel free to check them out if you want to roleplay as a criminal. Then at number 4, we've got Prodigy RP 2.0, which is built on the idea that win or lose, everybody ought to have fun. There's minimal micromanagement on this server, and you don't get punished by mods for taking the criminal path. You can choose to be a civilian, a cop, a renegade. The possibilities are honestly limitless, and Prodigy is always receiving updates that add new types of content and brand new quest lines for you to participate in. Right now, the server is on patch 2.74, and they've added a bunch of new vehicles, including supercars, sports cars, and even some heavily modified police armored transports for all you SWAT cosplayers out there. And there's also a new weapon calibration system to increase the realism in gunplay, and the entire loot economy has also been revamped to make things more fair and balanced for everyone. And because it's Prodigy RP, you can also expect a ton of original minigames, side content, and vehicle classes, with the community managers constantly processing feedback from players and implementing changes on a daily basis. On February the 3rd of this year, they also released the latest version of Prodigy RP, which is version 2.5, and it includes 4 new servers, over 70 new vehicles, as well as a bunch of new features to facilitate a much deeper role-playing experience than ever before. So whether you just want to rob some grocery stores, be a farmer, or do some major heists that end up with the entire city's police force chasing after you like what just happened the other day, Prodigy RP is something for everyone. This server also has one of the best inventory management systems I've ever seen, along with a robust legal system and a really well-balanced economy. The only downside to Prodigy is that it has a subscription-based service for the whitelisted server, and the application form itself is quite lengthy. And the last server on my list is the little place called City Life RP, and it's currently on its 3rd iteration, which was released on the 27th of December last year, but version 3.0 is still getting patches and content updates, with new custom scripts being added every single week. City Life RP also has everything you need in a top-tier roleplay server. It has a well-balanced economy, skill-based gameplay, lots of players online at all times, as well as a vibrant community on Discord where people people come up with new scenarios and hunt for jobs in the various state departments. If I were to nitpick, the only hurdle for casuals here is that you have to pay for priority queue, but then again, this is a serious RP server with no microtransactions, and it runs entirely off of player donations, so I can kind of understand where they're coming from there. On the server Discord, people can sign up to be cops, EMS, Justice Department employees, or real estate agents. You have a variety of criminal activities like store and house robberies, bank heists, drug manufacturing and distribution, chop shops, and more. And once you do those activities, you'll understand the appeal of a realistic RP server, because unlike vanilla GTA where the game tells you everything and holds your hand, in City Life RP, you can't just drive to a yellow marker and pick up equipment for your meth or acid lab. Instead, you have to talk to people, build connections with them, and work discreetly to avoid drawing attention from the police. Then you have to manually manage your inventory and source every little part, every ingredient for your drug empire, all by yourself. Every single part of the process from start to end, from sourcing supplies and equipment to manufacturing, security, and distribution, is done by hand, and it feels engaging and immersive unlike anything you've ever experienced, to be honest. So if you're someone who values realism and detail over just pure action gameplay, City Life RP I think is the perfect place for you. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my top 5 GTA RP servers for the second half of 2026. If you know of any other servers that are also worth checking out, or if you played on these servers before, let me know down in those comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you found it informative and entertaining. Consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next GTA RP video. Adios, amigos.